Darcy has an amazing software. First time I met the man physically, talked to him on the phone a couple of times, talked to me about his pre-sale software, which I have never seen. I don't think anybody has this. I've seen it on the retail side of properties and high traffic flow and stuff. I've seen the buzzbuzz.com what they have, but this is different. This is future stuff. It's got sales data and it compares what's been reported and what the developer reports. So I'm going to let you go into that. But I think this is a great value, and I think it's I'm glad we're the first brokerage. Yeah, we're the first brokerage, like being the first brokerage. So Darcy, not Ali, welcome to our company, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Very excited to introduce Real Property Data to you here. Real Property Data was developed to serve two main purposes for realtors. The first being realtors who are already doing lots of pre-sale deals and are now looking to save time and are looking to scale their business efficiently. And the other is for realtors who maybe haven't done as many pre-sales, but are looking to get into business and need some sort of framework to now get started. It's not easy and entering into a new industry or into a new segment within the industry. And, just getting started is always the first step in getting the wheels rolling. And I think that what we have to offer here is the perfect product to do both of those things. And so we're tracking all forms of multifamily and commercial development from inception through to completion. So as soon as an application is submitted with the city, we begin tracking the application throughout the entitlement process until it gets approved. Once an application gets approved, it moves to our selling soon section. So this is where our clients can see all of the projects that are coming to market in the near future. And then once a sales campaign starts, that's when the project moves to our now selling section, where we create a full project data page for it. And so we are tracking Metro Vancouver, all cities within Metro Vancouver, the Okanagan and Vancouver Island. And so what I'm going to show you for today is going to be the Metro Vancouver platform. And so we have it split into the region location into two fields here. So we have the Greater Vancouver cities and the Fraser Valley cities. Anyone have a suggestion on a city we can choose first for a search?
Downtown,
Vancouver, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So I will scroll down to Vancouver and we'll choose now selling and we will do a search. So here we'll show you a standard project report page with all of the actively selling projects within the city of Vancouver. Starting on the far left, you can see the project name, the developer, then the type and story. So that would be the form of development, whether it's an apartment, a mixed-use apartment, a townhome, or a stacked townhome. And below it'll indicate the number of stories. Next, we have the location, so the address and the city, the date the project started sales, the total units within the project, how many of those units have been released. And then for the sold, we have two data points that we use. So the first being the reported sold. So this will be whatever the project representative or the developer is reporting the absorptions for the project. Whether we believe that to be true or not, we will always post the reported sold. But we've added another data point called the confirmed sold. And this is to kind of help keep developers in check. In terms of the market being really slow right now, a lot of these developers and projects are misreporting how many units have been sold as a marketing tactic to seem like there's higher demand for a project than there really is. And so the confirmed sold will be the individual units within a project that we've identified as being sold because one of our secret shoppers or one of the insider realtors that we are contracting and working with has gone and tried to purchase a unit and that unit's not available, it's sold. So then that would be a unit that is indicated as confirmed sold in our system. The confirmed sold number will always be less than the reported sold, but if there's a huge variance between the two, it's just something to look out for. It's kind of like a red flag. Okay, has this project actually sold this many units? Is the demand actually there, or are they fabricating it? And so then on the far right, in blue here, we have the blended average unit size within the project, the average price, and the average price per square foot on an overall basis. and that would be the active units and the sold units, so blended. All of these columns are resortable, so you could go highest to lowest price per square foot, or say most recent sales start date. If you wanted to look on map view, you could just click here. You could scroll on the right if there's one that you see that you want to focus on. You can click it and it'll zoom in, or you can search through the map, click one, and it'll bring it up on the right side. There's some sorting filters as well, so you can sort, say, highest to lowest price per square foot on the right side, as well as highest to lowest average size. These are just starting points with the filters. We'll continually be adding more filters as time goes on, and that's one thing I can say about the product is what you see today is not what you'll see tomorrow. It's improving on a daily basis. Back to the report page. So we can click into a report. Before we do that, there's some other customizable features that we have here. So if you wanted to add any other field or column into your table here that we're looking at, you could do so. So you could say, okay, what is the construction status of these projects? Or which neighborhood is it in? Who's building it? Who's the architect? Essentially, any data point we're tracking on the system, you're able to update into your report here. And all of these reports, I should mention, are printable as well. So this would be what a standard project data page looks like. So the information at the top is everything you could have seen in the previous report page. So, okay, what's the project name? Who's the developer? How many stories? What is the deposit? What date did they start sales? What is the construction status? And so on. There's a link which you can click to get to the project website. Under the site plan, so you can see all of if it's an apartment, all of the floor plates for each floor, or if it's a site plan, you can see the overall site. And again, these are PDF form and downloadable and exportable as well. And then incentives. So especially in the way the market's going right now, there's a lot of price drops that are happening. And rather than the developer just dropping their price, instead what they're doing is they're disguising it a bit and they're offering incentives. And so we're tracking these incentives very closely because at the end of the day, the list price minus the incentives is what is at the price the project is actually selling for. So a lot of the times, if you're not familiar with the project and you've just gone in to get information, you may be misguided because you're going to get a price that they're marketing to the public, but you won't really know the real story of what's happening unless you're looking at the incentives. This project wasn't actively offering any incentives, but when you click this button, you would be able to see throughout the history of the project, any buyer incentives they're offering, any realtor incentives they're offering.
Yeah, keep going. Oh, just have a question afterwards.
Sure. Any realtor commissions that they're offering, maybe they increase it to a 3% flat fee or whatever it might be, a reduced assignment fee or reduced deposit. So that would all be shown there. Sorry, what's your question?
I have a question. Would it give us a notification if there was any incentive in a specific building?
That's a good question. That's something not as of now, it doesn't do that, but we do have a save project function that is going to be going live in the next few weeks. And so that is definitely something we can add, where if you have a project saved in your portfolio or on your account, then you can select which changes you would want to be notified about. Oh, if it's price changes, if it's incentive changes, if it's a sold update, then yeah, you would be able to get notified.
That was my follow-up question. So if you were to search properties in a specific area and you have the ability to save those searches as well, right?
As of now, it's your account, you would not have the ability to resave a search. But as we implement the save project function, that's kind of something that would go hand in hand, where you could also save searches and save various reports.
Angel, let's hold the questions till the end so you can go
Gotcha.
through this routine.
Do appreciate it though. Thanks. And then, yeah, so the project totals here, the boxes, this is data that you would see in the previous report page as well. So this project, for example, they have 303 total units. It's just around the corner from here under the bridge. 252 of those have been released because they haven't released any units from floors 1 to 12. The developer, as of June 29th, is reporting 90 sold and 202 available. In this case, there's 0 units that we've actually confirmed are sold. There's definitely some units that have sold, but as of now, what we've confirmed is 0. So there is a big discrepancy between the two. I'm not saying that this developer has not sold 90. However, it may be something that, you know, a client would want to look into further.
That's a nice even number. 9.
So now scrolling down here to the unit breakdown table. So for every project, we're inputting every unit and every floor plan into the system. And our system is automatically grouping the units into rows based on 4 parameters. So the units would have to have the same number of beds, the same number of baths, be within a certain square footage, a size range. And we have something called floor plan specs, which is below the unit type. On this page, there's only one floor plan spec, which is the den. However, if the unit had, say, a separate penthouse unit or a townhome within an apartment or a roof deck, some sort of differentiating factor that may skew the data, those will also get isolated in their own rows. And so for each row, you can see, starting at row 1, these would be the 1-bed units with 1 bath. There's 106 of them that are released. They come with 1 parking stall that would be included in the listed price. The size range is 643 to 791 square feet, and the average of those is 710. And then the price range is 1.18 million to 1.184, with an average of 1.5 mil. And the average price per square foot is just over 2,100. And so what we can do is we can click any of these rows, and it'll show us all of the floor plans and all of the units that make up that row. So for example, we are looking at the 1-bed, 1-bath, which I quoted, there was 105 of them. So below the floor plan, and all these floor plans again are PDF form and exportable. So below the floor plan, you can see what the unit number is, the plan name, the size, the list price, the date we obtained that price, and then the status. And so that we would have every floor plan for every unit within the system. And so how I mentioned we're uploading these individually into the system is through here. So this will show you each unit that we're getting prices on. So you can isolate to see, okay, unit 1407 would be this 1-bed unit, SC07 plan on the 14th floor. The size is 643 square feet. And as of July 23rd, 2024, the price was 1.19 million and 1850 per square foot. And so all of this information is coming from all primary source data. So we have secret shoppers, and we have a network within the industry who are going out on a live and a daily basis and visiting all these presentation centers as buyers, so that we can uncover the facts, so the most truthful information you can get. Otherwise, if you were to search a project like this, maybe there'll be 1 or 2 units on MLS that are listed, that the developer has specifically listed themselves to, you know, to sell whatever story they're trying to sell for this project of what it's selling for. However, most of the time, that's not the actual price, and there's more to it. There's either incentives being offered that you're not aware of, and they're generally maybe showing 1 or 2 units of starting price units. Whereas here, as you can see, from June 25 to July 23rd, you can see 10 live prices, and then you could go through the different pages and see all these price points. And so what we're doing, we're tracking these prices over time as well. So this allows you to see whether the developer has increased the price on a unit or decreased the price on a unit over time. And then it gives you and your clients an idea of how much demand is in this project. You know, is there further price drops to come, and maybe I shouldn't be buying now, or, you know, should I be negotiating? Because clearly they can't sell these units. So this list price, like, why should I be paying that? Is there some wiggle room there? So as you can see on this one, April 16th, we obtained the price, it was 1.19. And then July 23rd, we obtained the price again, it was 1.19. So no price drop on this particular unit. If you refer to the legend at the top in blue, so if the price is blue, that means it's verified. It came directly from the presentation center or from the developer, and they indicated X unit is X price on X date. Anytime we're uploading a price into the system, we always have a backup file of some sort of paper trail of how we got that information. So if a client is ever unsure about something and wants some additional info, they can always reach out to us, and we'll have a paper trail of every single data point that we're adding into the system. Talking about incentives and on the buyer side and the realtor side. So again, you can customize your table headers here. So if I want to see, okay, are there any buyer incentives being offered? Or are there any realtor incentives? Or if you want to see any additional fields about these units. So, okay, let's see the units that have balconies and what is the balcony, what is the size of the balcony? Or what is the view? So, you know, if we're looking at penthouse units and we want to know, is it north facing towards the mountains or is it south facing and we can see the Burrard Inlet? How many parking stalls included in the price? Where is that? Stalls. The net price, which would be the list price minus buyer incentives, would be the net price. So those are the kind of data points. How many levels does it have? So maybe if it's a townhome unit and you have a downsizer client who wants everything on one floor, then you could just isolate to show levels, townhome units that have one level or two levels, whatever it may be. And so the way we're tracking this information and the way we're inputting the prices and the units individually, what it allows us to do is search for units across the market. So if we wanted to stick with Vancouver, for example, so this would show you all the various projects or within Vancouver, which we've got prices, unit pricing on over the last 90 days. So I can, this is 10 rows right now, I can bring it down to 100. And so you can see from June 6th to August 13th, there'll be 100 different price points on various units in Vancouver that we've got prices on. And so if you'd like, you could, you know, go lowest price to highest price or lowest price per square foot or isolate to specific unit types. So say if your client's, you know, looking for something under $700,000 as a rental investment, somewhere within the city of Vancouver. And so now you can see these different options. Okay, we have this unit from the NIMO project by Hudson. It's unit A1, or the unit number is 311. The plan is A1. It's a studio with one bath at 455 square feet. And the price per square foot is $1,165. So what you can do is go and maybe select the units that would be most relevant to your client and that you would want to go and present to your client. So you could go through and see the various options from the different projects. And then you can update the table. And then from here, what it allows us to do is we can export as well. And so what it'll do is give us on the first page a unit summary report with all the units that we're showing. So you can see the studio from NIMO, the other studio from NIMO, the one bedroom unit from Whitford, and so on. And so it'll give all the details, the project name, the location, how many beds, how many baths, the size, the price, the date we obtained that price, and the price per square foot. And then at the bottom, it will have a customizable, the realtor's branding will be included at the bottom here. So you can see your profile picture, your name, your brokerage, your team name, and then all your contact information. And then below, you would have every floor plan that you included within your report. So you can see, okay, the floor plan from NIMO, Ardea, Whitford, and so on. And now you could just save this, send it to your client, maybe give them some pros and cons of each project of why you like them, or on the particular unit type. Maybe if you know why one unit may rent better than another unit, or why one unit may be not as good for resale compared to another one, then you can go and, you know, provide your analysis and really show that you're the expert and that you have the right information for the client. And, you know, rather than having to go around and visit 10 presentation centers in one day, go and collect all the brochures and the floor plans, then go home, you know, try and organize them in a way. What you can do is, yeah, export this report, send it to your clients, figure out kind of which ones they're leaning towards, and then go out and pick the 2 or 3 presentation centers you want to go visit and touch, feel, and see, and you know, close the deal really. And in the unit mix, the one thing I didn't show you, go to. So this would show you the units that have been sold. And so it just gives you an idea within a certain project, which units are the highest in demand. And, you know, maybe all those are gone and now, the units left are the larger ones that are less desirable. And so maybe it's just informing your client that, I don't know if this project is the right one for you. Unfortunately, we didn't get to it on time. The units that I would recommend to you have all sold. Maybe this one or two is still are still good options. However, we should look at a different project, whatever it may be. Every time we're have some additional information on the project that can't be presented in one of the data forms that we have here, we'll just leave a standard marketing note just to provide some additional context to the clients. And then again, we have the image gallery. So you can see just the renderings and the interiors and the amenities and so on. And so, yeah, what I've showed you so far is the now selling. If you wanted to look and see, okay, what's coming to market, you could do so just by clicking the selling soon. And so this will show you all the various projects that are imminently launching. And so if, you know, the project that we were just talking about, all the most desirable units have already sold, well, you know, there's other projects that are going to be coming to market. And now you can just figure out which projects you want to target that, you know, that have the units that your client is looking for. And now you can put those on your list to begin talking to the developer, making sure you're on the priority list, educating and informing your clients on what the different options are and, you know, which projects are coming, who's going to be building it, what their track record is, and so on. So yeah, every project, you'll see all the selling soon projects throughout the city. Any questions or a search that anyone would like me to go through?
How far out does your search go?
In terms of geographically?
Yeah.
All Metro Vancouver. So as far east as Mission and then as far west as Squamish. Mm-hmm. And today, because this brokerage presentation was set up, we do have a bit of a special offer. What I'm showing you right now is all of our Metro Vancouver data. And the subscription price is $129.99 a month for this. If you subscribe before the end of this week, we would also throw in the Okanagan and the Vancouver Island data, complimentary for the first year. It's still a month-to-month contract. So if you sign up and later decide that, you know, it's not the right fit for you, you can unsubscribe at any time. But what I can say is that our retention rate to date has been around 99% or so.
So one more question. So your data goes Vancouver Island, Okanagan, Lower Mainland, anywhere else?
As of now, no.
No. And how accurate is it for the projects? Are you missing any projects in there, do you think, or?
No, because we're tracking the applications from inception, we have a pretty good handle on understanding which projects legally can even start selling. And so when we have that list, then it's quite easy to target anything that's coming through the pipeline. And the way the algorithms work, the more, you know, you're involved with these projects, the more they just kind of come to you. So yeah, that hasn't been a challenge of ours at all.
That just kind of comes from city websites or whatever application has been submitted. And
yeah, absolutely. I can show you. This is part of our developer product. We are servicing most of the developers, the financiers, and the marketing firms within Metro Vancouver. The product that they subscribe to is a bit different. It's more enhanced to allow them to understand which units they want to develop in their project, how much they want to buy land for. It's really to de-risk them rather than for business development, like for realtors. But in the planning section here, for example, if I did Vancouver, this would be all the various projects in different stages of the entitlement process. And so if we click on one of them, and so you can see we're tracking the rezoning, the development permit, the building permit, the planning documents when available. So this one was just as DP submitted, so it's not available yet, but I'll show you a different one. So you can see, yeah, all of the planning documents from the city's websites. And then at the bottom here, you can see each stage of the application process. So anytime the application goes to advisory design panel or to a council meeting, we'll have all the meeting minutes. So then for our developer clients, this is very beneficial because they can see which councilors are voting for, which councilors are voting against an application, what the comments were for by staff, and what the rebuttal was by the developer. How were they able to get the final development approved, the form of the development approved? So this is also very beneficial for brokers or realtors who are doing land deals for development sites, because then you can go to your developer client and say, okay, these are the applications in this area that were able to achieve a 20-story building with 20% market rental. This is what the end values are. So they're all achieving $1,200 per square foot with absorptions at around X, whatever the absorption rate is. And then you can say, okay, and now in order to get this approved based on these other 5 applications, to get to first reading, it's going to take you X amount of months. And then to get to third reading and approval, it's going to take you X amount of months. So it gives you hard facts that they can then go and put in their pro forma, run their interest costs and really have all the facts that they need to build up the pro forma and see, is this feasible? Like, does this make sense or no? This why
When you pulled up, was that the curve? 1080? Is that 1080 Barclay? Is that called the?
this one is not the curve. I think it's
Oh.
close by though. This is Bosa and Kingswood. Yeah. I'll show you an example of one that's a bit more so this would be like for a master plan rezoning that we did, Bosa and Surrey. So you can see the subdivision permit, the rezoning, the OCP amendment, the development permit, the development variance permit, and then the building permit. And you can see, okay, what is the current status, the date it got submitted, and then the status date. So how long did the rezoning take to get to adoption? How long did the development permit take to get to approval and then issuance? Same with the DVP and so on. The developer clients can see, okay, who are the other consultants and the broker clients. So, if there's an application, you're selling a piece of dirt, there's an application down the road that's a good comparable. You can go and see who's a civil engineer on that file. So then you really have you give them a call and you really have an understanding of what are the on-site servicing costs, what are the off-site servicing costs that I should put into my pro forma. Because just any general civil engineer, unless they've worked in that close vicinity, they won't have that information. It's not on the city's website. There's really no way to know. And so you could be a few $1 million off in the number you're inputting into your pro forma, unless you have contacted that civil engineer in that neighborhood to know what something costs. I've worked in development for Starlight Investments and Terra Development before over the past few years, and the on and off site servicing costs are something that you could project that it's going to be 1 million and sometimes it's 3 million, or you can project it's 3 and it'd be 6 so having someone who's worked in that neighborhood and really knows what something's going to cost is extremely beneficial. Otherwise that's kind of it for the presentation, unless there's anybody that has any questions or would like to see any other searches.
Yeah, as far as developers, do they know this is out here, and have you gotten feedback from developers saying, hey, have they voluntarily said we'll join, or are they sitting there going, oh, this guy's coming in the back door?
Well, they're used to this because there have been other services in the past where that provide information on all the various projects.
Right.
However, what they've done is they're allowing developers to post information that the developers want to post. And so they're going and asking the developer, what are you selling for on a per square foot basis? What are your unit prices for? And so it's the same as, kind of what you find on the internet. Whatever the developer wants to present is what's going to be presented there, whether that's the truth or not. Whereas we've gone a different way with our business model, where we don't allow developers to report information to us. Most of them are using the platform. The Polygons of the world, the Darwin Constructions, the Zenterras, the Aderas, Townline, and so on. However, sometimes they do come to us and say, "Hey, I saw you posted this. Like, why don't you come ask us? We'll tell you what to post."
Right.
And I've been very clear from the start that our business model is about providing fact, and the only way to get that information is through secret shoppers and through real buyers who are out there writing contracts and visiting presentation centers and trying to do deals.
We have a question on Zoom. Does the search also include commercial units?
For our developer clients, it does. As of now, it's not something that we've released to our realtor subscription or for our realtor subscription.
Okay.
One of the features was now selling projects. What are the other ones? Like before getting permits, if the developer is trying to get the permit, does it show those?
Yeah, that would be the planning section here. And for developer clients. And so you can see, you could do a search for Vancouver, the market strata side, so the condos, or for rental as well. And so oops. So right now, the number of rental applications in Vancouver compared to condo is astronomical. So this will show you everything that's coming to market, whether it's been approved or will be approved. So the ones in gray are leasing soon. So these ones are under construction. So as you can see, our team takes construction photos of every rental project throughout Metro Vancouver on a quarterly basis. So if you click into one of these and go to the image gallery, you can see live as of, I think maybe early August, this would have been where it's at. So this is also helpful for our developer clients to see how long it takes to build certain projects. Right now, with the huge shortage of qualified construction workers, and if you haven't done a project in a long time, you may think it takes 2 years to build a 30-story high-rise, but then you go look at all the other projects around and start to see, oh, they're taking 3.5 years, 4 years. So that 1 extra year of interest holding costs in your pro forma is, it's astronomical. So if you don't have the right data, you can really get caught in a bad situation.
The other question about the pricing and the incentives, how often you ask the developers, how accurate is that?
As much as we're in contact with the projects, those are questions that we're asking on pretty much on any occasion that we're in contact. So we may not always get the incentives because sometimes they're disguised as well. So I mean, it's not perfect, but I would say for the most part, it's like in the high 90% range that we're if the developer's offering an incentive, we'll know about it.
The last question, some of the information like the number of units sold, is it something that we can share on social media or the developers don't like? We should get the permission there again from the developers.
I don't think you need the permission of the developer. They may not like it.
Take it down if they don't like it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, as long as you're providing market information that you believe to be true, because the reported number is always what the developer is reporting.
okay.
So the confirmed number, all you're saying is that we know at least this many units is sold. We're not saying that they've only sold 10. We're saying at least 10 have been sold. It could be 15, it could be 20. But from the information we have, at least 10 are sold.
The last question, how far it goes back that the projects that is completed, does it give the information about the projects? How fast it was sold?
Yeah, good question. So for a realtor product, it'll only show you the actively selling projects. For a developer product, it does, you can see the history of them throughout the years. So then, yeah, how long something took to sold, when it sold for, what the absorptions trends were, and so on. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Do you verify the secret shoppers information?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can back that up with proof.
Yeah.
Wants to sort of.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, good question. Absolutely. It's not just secret shoppers that are just random people going in. It's a network of people that we've vetted, that we've interviewed, that we have contracts in place with, and they're continually providing us with information. Our system also does have several different ways to verify whether the price is within a range that is reflective of market conditions. And if there's any outliers, it informs us, and then, we put more attention into that to, oh, okay, is this, is there anything we're missing here? Was it misreported? Did we write down the wrong info? Whatever it may be. I would say, again, it's at a 99% to up accuracy level.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just one last question, doesn't have the assignments.
The assignment contracts?
Yeah.
As of now, no, we are not
Okay.
tracking assignment
Yeah.
contracts.
Like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Any more questions?
Anybody else? Anything else online?
No, they were just asking for your contact information.
Yeah.
One of our agents are interested.
Okay, so we will send that out to everybody in an email and a Zoom follow-up with the recording, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen this. This is as comprehensive as I've seen, and I've been standing here since 2005. So well done. Really, really good job. So if there's no more questions, we'll let Darcy pack it up and go. And I don't have anything else to say. Doug has set everybody out the stats for the previous months in real estate. So take a look at it, go deeper into your neighborhoods. Don't quote the stats on the Vancouver board in general, because nobody really wants to hear that. They want to know about Dunbar, they want to hear about Yaletown and Bull Harbor, but not the overall stats. So again, thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Have a great week. If you need us, give us a call. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
Just a quick thing, we have a PDP course tomorrow at 10 a.m. So please join us tomorrow. Thank you.